After a long journey of searching for a legendary alchemist, the location of which may now have been finally discovered, Merek, a witcher, and his adventure companion Hanna, an Elf Shaman Bard, with her familiar companion Mina, a horned owl, which she rescued from the grasp of a higher vampire over a decade ago. So precious this owl is to this higher vampire that he will do anything to retrieve his precious owl back again. Hello everyone, this is Moses from Wilona's Cave. Welcome to the first episode of the Witcher campaign series. I will use many supplements for this series, such as Advanced Tiny Dungeon, The Witcher RPG by R. Talsorian Games, Mythic Game Master Emulator, Ironsworn, Oracles and Random Tables, Maze Rats, various D&D books, the Book of Random Tables, and the Perilous Wilds. And also, I will use my own supplement, a story building system I created. The intro that you just listened to was created using that system, my system. I will try my best to announce the systems I am using to help the ones that are following that want to learn how to play solo RPG campaigns. Now, I will begin by stating the opening scene I thought of, and then roll on the scene setup with Mythic to see if the beginning scene has been modified. The opening scene is where Merek, Hanna, and Mina, the owl, are all on the same boat on the river in the forest realm. They are surrounded by an ancient forest west of the Demelza Mountains. They are going further north up the river to Marsden Tent City. Once arriving, they will be searching for a legendary alchemist to help them identify a potion Merek found in the cave deep in the forest. Merek is also an alchemist but cannot identify the contents of the glass bottle. Now, further down the river is a group of mercenaries hiding in the forest near the river. They are waiting for Merek and Hanna. First and foremost, let's roll a weather roll. Let's drop a d20 in the tray. A 20 is beautiful weather and a 1 is horrible weather. And I rolled a 9. So there's light rain, but it has been raining for quite some time, let's say. And now let's roll to see if the scene has been modified. Let's drop in a d10. The chaos rank in Mythic starts at 5. If I roll the chaos rank or below, the scene has been modified, and it's a 10. So the scene is not modified. Okay, introducing the mercenaries from left to right. To the left we have a ranger, a brigand in the middle, and an assassin on the right. The brigand in the middle is the leader of this group, and his name is Ludwig. The ranger asks, "Are you sure they were going up this part of the river?" Ludwig answers, "Yes, I'm sure. Now be quiet. Didn't I tell you that a witcher has amazing senses? A witcher could hear a little mouse farting a mile away. So if I even hear a small twig crack under your feet, then I'll crack your skull." Now back to the ranger. "Well, at least our assassin friend over there is always quiet." Ludwig quickly responds, "That's because her tongue was cut out." And the ranger looks at the assassin and back at Ludwig and says, "Are you being serious? Why did your tongue get cut out?" The assassin looks at the ranger slowly and responds without a tongue, "Because I talk too much." And Ludwig starts laughing. "Why are you laughing? What did she say?" "She said because she talked too much." Now at that moment, Merek, Hanna, and Mina can be seen in the distance on a boat. Ludwig puts his arm up and makes a fist, signifying the team needs to be alert, quiet, and hidden. Let's see if they stay quiet enough not to be heard by Merek. Let's roll on the Mythic Fate chart and see if the mercenaries made a noise. I'm going to put the odds at very unlikely. I am putting it very unlikely due to a few factors. First, the Witcher has amazing senses, but I will consider that the mercenaries are well trained and know about Merek's senses. Also, there is a light rain making a bit of noise. The boat is making noise and you could hear birds in the forest. So back to the fate chart. The chaos rank is 5, which means a roll of 25 or less is a yes. which means they did make a noise. Let's drop in a D100. The second roll is the one that counts. And we rolled a 16. So they did make a noise. Not an extreme yes though. That's a 5 or below. So pretty close though. The ranger looks up at Ludwig. And Ludwig quickly looks at the ranger with a pissed off look on his face. The ranger makes a mouth movement without speaking. His lips appear to say, "Sorry." Ludwig shakes his head in amazement and hopes Merek didn't hear that. Did Merek hear it? You know what, let's roll our first advanced tiny dungeon roll with a perceptive trait, aka the Witcher sense, which Merek has an advantage. Okay, so all of you know how these rolls work. In Tiny Dungeon, for a normal test roll, it's a 2d6. For a disadvantage test, it's a 1d6. And for an advantage, it's a 3d6. And you have to roll a 5 or 6 on any of those dice to be a success. So the more dice you have, the more odds of getting a 5 or 6. So let's drop in a 3d6 into the tray. And one of them rolled on a 6. That's a success. So Merek did hear that twig breaking. Merek puts the orb back into the boat, signals to Hanna to get down, and points to the direction of the sound. Let's see, what would Hanna do? I think it's time to use the owl. Hanna gets down lower in the boat and looks at Mina, her horned owl companion. Hanna points to a tree very close to them and gives Mina a hand gesture to fly low and go into the tree. Now Mina can roll advantage for flying, which is a 3d6, and roll advantage for perceptive trait to see if she could see what made that sound. Let's drop in a 3d6 in the tray and roll for Mina's flight trait. And rolled a 6 for success and a 5. But if there were 2 6s, by the way, then it would be a critical success. So Mina looks at the tree close by that Mana was pointing at and flies low and quietly to it. So let's see if Mina sees who made that noise Merek heard. Alright, drop in a 3d6 and roll for Mina's perceptive trait. Alright! Oh wow, I didn't think this would happen. Rolled 3 6s. Now I told myself before starting this campaign that if I roll 3 6s, that it's going to be an extreme critical success. Oh dang, no wonder this higher vampire wants his owl returned to him so badly. Alright, so let's keep going. So with Mina's awesome roll of 3 6s, which I didn't think would happen this early on in the game, I will interpret this as that Mina can see all 3 of the mercenaries and successfully communicate where they are with Merek and Hanna. So Mina flies back to the boat and lands on Hanna's forearm. Now with Mina on Hanna's forearm, Hanna moves around slowly in the boat, but notices Mina's head is locked in a certain direction. Hanna asks quietly, "What do you see, Mina?" While Hanna also focuses on the direction she's looking at. I think it is best to see if Merek can also see them from where he is currently in the boat with his perceptive trait test, which is his Witcher sense. So let's get out a 3d6 for rolling at an advantage and see if Merek can see the mercenaries hiding in the forest. Okay, 3d6 for a perceptive trait. And unfortunately Merek failed his perceptive trait test. His Witcher sense failed, basically. The mercenaries are well hidden, especially from Merek's point of view from the boat. But Merek notices that Mina is still focused on that location. So Merek speaks quietly to Hanna. "Mina wouldn't do this if it weren't important. I'm going to get out of the boat and go into the forest to see if I can get a better viewpoint." Then Merek gets out of the boat slowly and walks into the forest. Let's roll perceptive trait again, aka his Witcher sense, and see if Merek can see the mercenaries now. I hope. Let's re-roll the 3d6 in the dice tray. And again, an unsuccessful roll. These mercenaries are very well hidden, or something else is going on. Okay, let's go back to the mercenaries now. They have a quiet and quick assassin on their team. Let me ask the fate chart if Ludwig orders the assassin to try and sneak up on Merek and backstab him. Let's go to the Mythic fate chart and ask if that does happen. You know what, I'm just going to put the odds at 50-50, keep it simple, which at a chaos rank of 5 is a yes answer if the roll is 50 or below. Let's get out a D100 and roll and find out what happens. And it's a 17. Oh, is that an extreme yes? Chaos rank of 5, 50-50. Oh good, no. It's just a yes. At extreme yes, it would have been a really bad scenario. Okay, so Ludwig looks at the assassin and signals to sneak around to try and get to Merek and try to backstab him. Oh jeez. Well, this story has taken a bit of a turn. What are Hanna and Mina going to do next? And is the assassin going to be successful? Well, we're going to have to find that out on the next episode of The Witcher. Okay, now let's do some quick bookkeeping with Mythic. Let's go to the sheet. New characters. Yes, we have Ludwig, the brigand. Anybody else? The assassin and the ranger, which I don't have any names for. New threads. Get to Marsden Tent City to find an alchemist for the potion bottle that Merek has. The chaos factor I'm going to raise up to 6. It's not looking that great right now for Merek and his team against these mercenaries. And that looks about it. I hope you enjoyed this new series, and if you did, I hope you subscribe. And if you liked the video, please hit like and comment as well. And I thank you all for watching another episode of Wilona's Cave. Happy gaming, everyone. Bye.